It was summertime on the island of Sodor. The engines enjoyed the beautiful weather. This also made the engines work really hard. Thomas has his own branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. And Bill and Ben are tank engine twins who are proud to be on Sir Topham Hatt's railroad. One morning, Thomas was resting in the sheds when Sir Topham Hatt came to see him. "Thomas, you are to carry some heavy loads," said Sir Topham Hatt. "You are to work with Bill and Ben." Thomas was cross. He did not like working with Bill and Ben. "But sir, they argue too much." "Well, Thomas," said Sir Topham Hatt, "if they argue too much, then you should help them." And Sir Topham Hatt left. Then an idea flew into Thomas's funnel. "I can help the twins," said Thomas. Then he puffed happily away. Thomas arrived at the docks. Bill and Ben were waiting. "Hello, Thomas," said Ben. "Thank goodness you're here, because Bill is being difficult." "I'm not difficult," said Bill crossly. "Yes, you are," said Ben. "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are." Okay, said Thomas crossly. "Enough arguing. That's why I'm here to help you two." "Thank you, Thomas," said Ben, and Thomas buffered up behind Ben. And then the three friends puffed happily away. Ben enjoyed telling Thomas about his twin. "Guess what, Thomas? Bill is always very difficult. He's just a silly, lazy engine," laughed Ben. Thomas chuckled. "I can see that," chuckled Thomas. This made Bill jealous. "Okay," said Bill. "Time to switch places." "I'm not switching places," said Ben crossly. "Okay," said Thomas. "Don't argue about it. Just switch places just for me." When they arrived at a junction, they listened. Bill was uncoupled from the train. Then there was trouble. Spencer was coming on the same track as Bill and Ben. Spencer screeched to a stop, just in front of Bill. "Phew," said Bill. "You almost had an accident." "It's not my fault," said Spencer. "You're the one who's in my way." "Not my fault," said Bill. "Ben wanted me to switch places." "No," said Ben. "You were being difficult." "Come on, guys," said Thomas. "Just switch places." And they did. Bill waited to buffer up on the back of the train, and Ben coupled up to the front of the train. And then the three engines set off. Then Bill told Thomas about his brother Ben. "Ben is my brother, and he's also very difficult and a silly, lazy engine," said Bill. Thomas laughed. "Ha ha ha, I can see that," laughed Thomas. Now Ben was getting jealous. "Okay," said Ben. "Time to switch places." "Ugh," said Bill. "We're not switching places anymore." "Yes, we are," said Ben. "No, we're not," said Bill. "Yes, we are," said Ben. "No, we're not," said Bill. Then when both the twins were uncoupled from the train, Thomas was the only one that had to hold the train. He used all of his might. The train was getting heavier and heavier, and Thomas could barely hold it. Bill and Ben were arguing. "It's all your fault," said Bill. "No, it's your fault," said Ben. "It isn't." "It is." 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 Then there was trouble. Thomas couldn't hold the train any longer. The train rolled backwards down the hill. "Oh no," cried Thomas. "Help, I can't stop." Faster and faster down the hill. He went through valleys. "Help," cried Thomas. "Help." Then Thomas went right into a siding. And then there was trouble. Thomas biffed the buffaloes with a crash, and Thomas and the train came right off the tracks. Cinders and ashes, cried Thomas. I'm off the tracks. When Bill and Ben saw it, they were arguing again. This is all your fault. No, it isn't. It is. 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 It isn't. This made Thomas very cross. Enough arguing, said Thomas crossly. It was both of your faults for arguing. If you guys would have never argued and worked together, this wouldn't have happened. Now, I suggest you guys to work together and get help for me. The twins felt sorry. We're sorry, said Ben. It is both of our faults, said Bill. Ben, said Bill, how about we work together and get Rocky to help Thomas? Ben agreed, and then the two twins set off to go help Thomas with Rocky. At last, Bill and Ben arrived with Rocky to go help Thomas. With mighty heave and mighty haul, Rocky lowered Thomas back onto the tracks. Thank you, said Thomas. Now let's all work together. Happy to help, said Rocky. And then all three engines worked together, Bill and Ben in front and Thomas in the back. And they arrived just in time. Well done, all of you, said Sir Topham Hatt. You guys got here on time. You all are really useful engines. Thank you, sir, said Thomas happily. Yes, thank you, said the twins.